Any advice and information from this podcast is general only. It has been prepared without taking into account your individual circumstances and needs. Before acting on any advice from this podcast, you should assess and seek advice on whether it is appropriate for your needs, financial situation, and investment objectives. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all our listeners out there.
Our millions of listeners.
We are back with more zeros in the listening column. J-Mac, what's the news? How you been?
What's cracking?
All right, there is plenty cracking. I guess, again, due to popular demand, we thought we'd put something out there which is slightly different from what we've been doing, but it's big in what we do, where we work at Evergreen Financial. And I guess being a Townsville-based company, Townsville is a big garrison city. There's a big RAF or Air Force contingent and Army contingent. And a lot of the people we see are either current serving defence or ex-serving defence, I guess in that veteran sphere. And I guess if we're going to plug ourselves, yes, we specialise in everything financial advice, but we also then specialise in everything related to defence-related financial matters. And we're talking about all the considerations that come with defence life. That's Commonwealth Superannuation Corporation and all the super funds underneath that, DVA, veterans that are transitioning and get funding from defence to see a financial advisor, just getting them on the right path. I guess as full disclosure, Roshan, shout out to Roshan wherever you are. I know you probably work on your laptop. It's 3 a.m. while we're recording this, so that's why we look a bit tired. He's ex-defence and I'm Army specifically, and so myself, I'm ex-Army. Jessie, not so much, but has definitely seen a heap of defence clients and has built up a really good knowledge base on everything defence. But I'm pretty sure you mentioned no, I was joking. I don't know if we should add that in, but no. Let's scrub that out. Let's keep it in. No, anyway. So our knowledge base on defence financial related matters is quite significant. And we're finding from a lot of veterans that we see that sometimes I'll see a financial advisor, nothing against those advisors, but they just don't specialise it or have the knowledge to help veterans with those specific matters because they are quite unique. So
yeah, you and Roshan have gone through the process yourselves too, so we understand.
Yeah, we have. Especially being at the bottom of the pecking order of defence, Army is usually treated like the poor little cousin of the other two. Enlisted and discharged, been overseas on deployments, done a fair few years in Townsville, and have now transitioned out. So that experience has helped us then push that on to other veterans because it's pretty daunting when they discharge, whether it's medically, administratively, what to do next in their careers, incomes, what do I do with my pension, my super, my spouse, do I have to move, what entitlements do I have, what does all this DVA stuff mean? All these questions, we essentially see hundreds of veterans and we are provide pretty clear answers case-by-case basis to them. So
if they don't have enough on their plate already transitioning out of
valid point.
Such a big organisation that they've got to deal with all this other stuff.
True,
too.
and that can range from veterans of a few years in the Army, and we're seeing some that have done 40 years. It's unbelievable, plus 40 years. So it's and I guess from that we sort of we understand now that we've built up the knowledge, and we are veterans. I guess just understanding the background of veterans, possibly sort of where they might have come from, the journey they've been through. The personalities and the different psychology with veterans are a little bit of a different mindset to, say, a doctor or an engineer or a childcare worker. They're all different. They've got some specific things that we sort of can relate with, so it definitely lets us help them along with their journey, which is what we're here to do. So the other big one, I guess the part of that is, for those that don't know, I dare say most veterans know, there's some funding out there for veterans, current and ex, potentially from Department of Defence or DVA that lets them see a financial advisor.
Yes.
So I guess we've seen the ins and outs of that. Some haven't used it, some have, and they've come away with a really good result. But I guess if you think if it was offered for free, if it was a good service, I suppose you'd probably take it.
Free?
Yeah, for free. Yeah. So, if you can bill the government to see a financial advisor and they can get you on the right track, whether it's you, your spouse, your kids, setting up stuff for your estate, tidying up, answering any questions you have, alleviating some of that stress, there's some funding out there that can help you. If you're transitioning, I'm pretty sure Defence is paying under the Defence Force Transition Program. They fund you $1,000 to see a financial advisor, us. DVA, depending on your circumstances with DVA and the level that you reach with compensation, they can also provide funding, which is pretty substantial, to see a financial advisor. And I guess that's where we come in to help veterans with that side. So that's that part for those who are unsure. Why? We've talked about a heap of other people, whether it's just 20-year-old, 30-year-old, couples, professionals, tradesmen, admin. Why should veterans see an advisor? Doesn't have to be us, can be any advisor. Why? Like, surely you can just, I don't know, I've heard of this chat GPT thing now that's kind of...
Shh, don't tell them about the chat GPT.
All right, scrub that from the editing. No GPT. Why should they see an advisor? Like, why should they come, whether it's us or someone else? What can we sort of provide?
When they can just kind of search it on chat GPT and get some answers. Yeah. I guess we answer the questions you don't know what to ask. So there's a lot of, you can ask, I've got this big lump sum, chat GPT, what should I do with it? Whereas we think about tax implications if you're on childcare subsidy or if you have family tax benefit with Centrelink, how does that tie into when you want to retire? What are your pensions? All that type of kind of putting everything together.
Valid point. How come I don't give veterans that answer? All right, I might just close my calendar off, and veterans, if you're interested or need some help, you might just have to see JMac. Probably answer those a lot better than me. But you are right. Look, there's funding there. You might as well use it. And I guess we're able to sort of ask you those questions to pull the most information out of you to then give you a better result. Yes, like your AI that's out there is pretty comprehensive, but I guess if you don't know what questions to ask it can interpret some things, but not all things. And I guess we sort of look at, for veterans, we're looking at them now. In a couple of years, we're incorporating their spouse, their kids, their goals, if they want to move, career changes, incomes now. Hey, I want to go study. I've got large compensation, or hey, I won't be able to work anymore. My pension's a lot less than what I was getting in defence. Yeah, we can help you sort of sift through it, navigate it, come up with a bit of a strategy. And I think, look, not speaking for other advisors, but if you see us, you probably get a free cup of coffee. Okay.
Score,
and a heap of bad jokes. So I guess that's the other side. But on a serious note, we're there to sort of get a really good end result for a lot of veterans and using government funding, which we find hundreds of the veterans that we do see, that's the advantage, I guess, for everyone else. All our normal clients, they've got to pay either out of pocket or through their super. Whereas some veterans, we can really help a heap and offer them a pretty comprehensive package, and it's all funded by Department of Defence or DVA. So it's
have you kind of talked to people who haven't seen a financial advisor and say kind of taken a lump sum and haven't realised the implications?
Yeah, that's a valid point, because look, not all veterans know the entitlements that they're entitled to, whether it's that transition funding or funding from DVA, or some of them just don't want to see a financial advisor because they've either got maybe just a different perception, or they've had previous advisors try and sell them the snake oil, which is in our next episode. We're going to talk about the best snake oil to buy. Come see us. No, it's another bad joke. All right, I'm going to have to leave myself.
That's a lot you've packed into this one episode.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. We have. And look, a majority of it has been, regret's not quite the perfect word, but just sort of like, I wish I'd seen you guys a couple of years ago when I got my DVA permanent impairment off lump sum of 400,000 and did a few things with it, and it ended up costing me in taxes or childcare subsidy, or I didn't know about capital gains tax. I didn't know how to set up an investment. I might have bought 2 Land Cruisers instead of 1, and now I'm only left with a little bit of money. We have noticed with a few that once they've seen us, or maybe another good advisor, that they had a good result because they were able to talk to another professional, outline a few things, and really build, I guess, an answer or a strategy from it. Yeah, there has been a bit of that. And I guess it just comes with the life journey. Not everyone's sort of got it perfect. I'm sure everyone out there has got some, hey, I wish I did this better. I wish I'd sought advice on this, whether it's your mentor, your accountant, parents, or whatever. So I guess we're there to be a little bit of that shoulder to have a chat to or lean on.
And do lawyers help with like the offers as well?
They can do, especially on the DVA side. It kind of outlines when they send you a permanent impairment offer. It goes, hey, here's some funding to see a financial advisor, and you can use it for some legal stuff.
Yeah.
Lawyers, unless they're qualified, can't give you personal financial advice, even general advice. But definitely there are some legal matters that, you can use their funding to solidify. So we have had a few veterans use some of that funding for lawyers and then tap into us to just tidy up a few of the financial matters. So, it's and I guess to finalise sort of on that one, I'm pretty bad with analogies, but whether it's $1,000 from defence or $3,000 or $4,000 from DVA funding, if it's there, it's like kind of leaving free funding on the table, You definitely get $1,000 to transition from defence. Would you sort of give a stranger $1,000 for nothing? Not really. And defence is kind of pushing that your way. Hey, here's $1,000 to see an advisor, any advisor, just to answer any questions. They're doing a bit of, I guess, duty of care there.
Yeah.
Because it's a big transition, especially if you've done whatever it is, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. A lot of the defence-related financial stuff is very different to the normal world per se.
Yeah, imagine.
So, okay. We have definitely met a heap of defence clients that have already got previous financial advisors, and some of them maintain them. That's fine. As I mentioned before, they've hit up their current advisor and gone, hey, I've got this DVA offer, or what does my MSBS pension mean, or my DFRDB pension? And the other advisor go, look, that's just not in our scope of skill.
It's very specialised, yeah.
It is a bit, probably gives you a bit more grey hair, but we're happy to help if that makes sense. But there are definitely some veterans that use financial advisors, and whether they've set them up with managed funds, real estate, tidied up their super, looked after their spouse's super, investment for kids, they're definitely out there, and there's a lot of good ones. Like anything, there's probably not so good ones, just like a mechanic or a butcher, I guess. So, yeah. I suppose if you see us, specifically for us, as I mentioned, we offer everything financial advice. Jessie's definitely the ninja on all those things. And then we also then provide everything to do with DVA and CommSuper and everything defence related. We understand transitions. You've just joined the Army or you've just joined the defence. You're doing numerous postings, continuation bonuses, retention bonuses. We sort of do, we do a lot of that. And then we tidy that up with, and both of us have seen, it's not just the defence person. They might have a spouse who's working as a teacher. You've got a heap of clients that are nurses, teachers, especially when we talk about Townsville, Garrison Town, it's a big hospital here.
And all the stuff they deal with as well, with having a defence partner and moving around, and maybe you've got 3 or 4 supers because you've just opened a new one wherever you've moved to or changed jobs to. So
it's a valid point, Jessie. Yeah, it's we see that a lot. If you do a 20-year defence career, you might have posted 5, 6, 7 times.
Yeah.
You might have dragged your spouse around that same time. It's Canberra, Darwin, Brisbane, Townsville, sunny Puckapunyal. Shout out to the Southerners down there. And the spouse has had 6, 7 different jobs, had to pull the kids out of kindy, daycare, school. And I guess we just help tidy all that up or just restructure it and point it towards where you need to go. We mentioned that everything under CommSuper, Commonwealth Superannuation Corporation, is quite unique.
Yeah.
DFRDB pensions, MSBS, how it works, what does it mean, what are these statements they're sending me? And then I guess with both of those, you then we specialise in like normal retirement. You've seen some people that have kind of got their MSBS pension sitting off to the side and they haven't accessed it yet. What does it look like?
Yeah.
What do I do with it? or then there's a lot of the veterans that are medically discharging, and what
does that mean? Yeah.
Yeah, so we're tiding into that. That one
And
there.
then I guess a lot of people, I think from your experience too, people get DVA and CSC or Commonwealth Super mixed up because they kind of talk to each other, but they're pretty separate entities.
Yeah, it's very true. And even veterans that might have been in 10, 15 years, they might still be sort of confused with the differences between DVA and ComSuper. We might even put a little picture just up here somewhere just to highlight what the difference is, because they are two separate entities. Yes, they talk to each other sometimes, but they operate quite differently. I'm not going to talk about efficiency levels, but they have two different, very different functions, I guess. So we definitely sort of outline that one. And I guess it doesn't have to all be about DVA and pensions and stuff like that. We're just talking about other defence entitlements that serving or former serving might be entitled to. Just outlining that and how that fits into your general outline, your financial plan. Sometimes we find it's the spouse that's non-defence asks a heap of the real good questions. The defence person sort of just kind of, I don't know, they might know it, they might not. Yeah, they're just happy to serve the country, go away and exercise, do deployments. So we try and help out the whole range of it. I guess we touched on it before. Modern technology lets you, it came into that question of why should I see an advisor? Can't I just tap it into? I'm going to ask my mates on Facebook, or I'm going to.
Yeah.
I served with Jimmy over there, and he said he got a DVA payout of 400,000, and I only got 200,000. But why is his pension different to mine? We're the same rank, or we help sort of go through those. We have done a lot of, I guess, debunking, whether it's Facebook forum group chats, information on the interwebs, chat groups. Some of it is good. Some or a lot of it is not too good. I guess we, or any other advisors, they're able to sort of strip through the weeds of it and offer a bit more personal advice, because it's easy to jump on Facebook and go, hey, I got this pension or I got this lump sum offer, what should I do? And people will be like, just take the lump sum. And that's it. But they haven't dug into all the other considerations that your mates on Facebook or even GPT might not be able to answer, unless, as Jessie said before, if you don't know the right questions to ask, you might not get the best response.
Yeah.
So we're there to sort of, discuss those things as well. But by all means, confide in your family and friends, like Jessie confides in colleagues with whether it's questions, but it can get pretty serious when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars or setting up some sort of strategy or plan that is best for yourself and your family. That's where I guess advisors as a whole usually come in, where, we shouldn't be just worried about you today taking this offer and buying a new car or investment property. We're then also trying to consider everything else that has you ready for 5 years, 10 years down the track, 20 years down the track, tying that all in, whether it's super, insurance, kids, how to fund their private schools, or, hey, I'm posting down to Canberra, but my spouse is staying in Townsville with the kids. How do we work this? All these kind of considerations that sometimes your best mates or family might not have the right answer to.
Yeah, or even like on that Facebook chat, take the lump sum in answer, but maybe that person has the childcare subsidy, and if they take a lump sum and don't report it, or they're already at the end of financial year, they'll get a big bill from Centrelink that they're not aware of.
What's it going to sting them? Valid point. So funny, we sort of brainstormed a little bit. A lot of the scenarios we see with veterans, and I guess not debunking, but just seeing what GPT would say if we ask it sort of some basic questions. And we had a bit of fun with it, which is really interesting. It's got some really good things, definitely some good things about it. Simple sort of questions, I dare say, thousands of veterans have asked it. Like, instead of seeing an advisor, well, why don't I just ask GPT? Do I take the pension or the lump sum? You can definitely ask it that, and it'll spit out a few sort of answers, which is really interesting. Like, and we might just sort of highlight them here.
I hope we can do this.
If you keep watching, me mowing the grass in my undies might be here. Anyway, so just comparing like a big lump sum of say 500,000 versus should I take the weekly pension? It does sort of outline some general outlines on, hey, consider this, consider that. So by all means, use that information. I know you've had some clients you mentioned literally bring in some sort of snippets. They've asked GPT the same questions.
Yeah.
And it's come sort of close to the answers you've provided. Yours have obviously been better.
Thanks for saying that.
Was that the truth?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Yeah. So by all means, and if the funding's there, you can compare those answers to, say, with an advisor and just let the advisor tweak, strategize, dig a little bit deeper to really get a good end result for where you want to go.
Yeah.
I guess we're looking at sort of here, but if it's interesting because even non-defense people have sort of mentioned, well, where should I buy investment property or shares? If I'm buying shares, what should I buy?
Yep.
If I'm buying a property, where should I buy it? ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It can definitely outline a few things. It's got a lot of knowledge in there. Not saying it's as smart as us. Not as smart as Jessie anyway. But it definitely gets you in the ballpark. It gives you a heap of information if you know what you're asking it. By all means, mash that against what an advisor might tell you. And that's where you might be able to unearth the snake oil saleswoman versus, someone who's got your general interests, who's got your best interests at the forefront when sort of coming up with a plan for yourself on what you should do with your money, considerations, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we've sort of spooked on what we can, I guess not just us, but other advisors, how we can help veterans, whether it's the now, whether it's they've left medically or admin-wise, what everything looks like. And I guess the big one is, speaking from experience, like when we see veterans, a majority of them, they've gone through a fair bit, whether it's a medical discharge, they're no longer employed, they're receiving a pension. What does it all look like? How am I going to pay my bills and help my family in the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years? For a lot of veterans, when they receive this lump sum offer of hundreds of thousands of dollars versus a pension, it's a substantial amount.
Yep.
Some have wasted it, some have squandered it, some have learnt that lesson and seen us and then done a few good things with it. I guess we're there as a sounding board, or a good advisor should be, sounding board, two-way conversation, their best interests, bad jokes, free cup of coffee, and you probably get the smarts of Jessie if you book in with her or anyone. But
you get hugs if you book in with Yannick.
Yeah, Roshan definitely not.
Not your Roshan.
Yeah, no, he's definitely the bad jokes and everything else. But so that's pretty much it. Just wanted to throw it out there, especially on the veteran side. Happy to help, even if it doesn't have to be an appointment. Sometimes we just have a 10-minute chat with people. So feel free to email, call, hassle, whichever you may, but happy to help you guys and gals moving forward, sort of veteran community-wise.
Yeah, take advantage. You've got the funding to do so.
It's free, right?
It's free.
Give or take. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking and sharing, and you will hear from us or see from us soon. Thank you very much. Thanks, J-Mac.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Ciao.